Hey guys, Danny from T&G Real Estate. Today I got a special guest, Gerardo. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and he's from C2 Financials. So you're going to get an insight on what the mortgage rates are doing today and, whether this is a good time to buy or sell real estate. So, Gerardo, we saw that the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, is at about 7.75%. It's the lowest since January.
Woohoo!
Right? So
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Great news.
Yeah, good news. And then we saw the Dow that it went up over 1,000 points last Thursday, right?
Yeah, in response to that lower inflation number. So
yeah, awesome. And I think it's been the highest since 2020. So that's good to see, right?
Definitely.
And then of course, we know that mortgage rates are tied to the 10-year Treasury, right? So talk a little bit about that.
So again, the mortgage rates do follow the 10-year Treasury, but ultimately the mortgage rates, they go up with inflation as well as they go down with inflation, right? So these numbers that we saw on Thursday that came out showing that inflation maybe has reached its peak and maybe on the way down is good news, because that means that the interest rates will come down. So whenever you guys see inflation coming down, that's when you know that the mortgage rates will come down. Okay, so just know that. If anybody says, when will rates come down? You can say, I know the answer. They'll come down when inflation comes down, right? It's just a matter of when will inflation come down. But most likely, again, we're seeing that we might have reached the peak of inflation, and now we may be, taking a step in the right direction.
Yeah, that's good news, right? It's good news. So we know that things have kind of flattened in the real estate market. Obviously, that's the typical thing that it does as we head into the holidays anyways. But we know that, inventory in Southern California is around 30,000 homes. Last year, it was around 17,000, so that's definitely up. But on the 3-year average, it's around 40,000 homes. So we're still about 10,000 homes short, here in Southern California. So that's still making an impact.
Yeah, because as we were talking before, really what drove the prices up was a combination of low inventory, which we're still seeing right now, and artificially lower interest rates, which we won't see that anymore, but we haven't fixed the inventory problem. So I personally, just based on the numbers, don't see how we wouldn't have bidding wars again as soon as the rates come down to a more affordable level, right? We just came out of the 7s, now we're kind of in the mid 6s. But again, as inflation continues to come down, those interest rates for mortgages will come down. And I think once we get to, maybe even high 5s, low 6s, people will start to realize that, hey, maybe there is not a real estate bubble that's gonna burst, and it's my time to take advantage of the opportunity right now before the rates come down even more.
Yeah. And real estate is always happening, you guys. People are always buying and selling real estate. So, like right now, we have 9,000 homes in Southern California that are in escrow. Last year it was 17,000, and the 3-year average was around 14,000. So, but we know that the prime buying and selling season is in the springtime. So we know that May is number 1 for selling, and April, June, July, August, those are all really good months for buying and selling real estate. Typically because most people want to buy and sell, maybe get their kids into a new school district
before the school year starts.
Right. So that's kind of your update for today. I don't know if there's anything else that we can share before we go, but
I've been kind of saying this a lot, but I truly believe that right now is the perfect time for a buyer, especially a first-time home buyer, to get into the home, because there is not as much competition. A lot of people seem to think there's going to be a real estate bubble that is going to burst. I don't see that happening. Again, going back to just the numbers, we have low inventory, and that is what's driving the prices up. So I think that it's a perfect time for a first-time home buyer to jump into the market, maybe even get a seller credit. There's different programs that are being offered right now where the seller could really improve the financing of a buyer's loan, by contributing some money. So I really think it's an excellent opportunity for first-time home buyers to jump in right now and take advantage of it before it goes back to the craziness from a year ago, because it will happen again.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Take care, guys.
Have a good day.